now that I'm thinking about it, there is one video on YouTube that has millions of views on it. And I believe it takes place in Massachusetts. And it's this guy that's a private investigator, and a cop rolls up on him. And let me tell you something. If you go to Private Investigator, and it has millions of views. It's a young guy. He's following someone. That is the biggest clown on the planet. Everything that guy did wrong. I watched that video, and people are like, oh, file charges on the officer. Oh. Man, that guy's a wannabe. That guy wants to be a cop, couldn't do it. I mean, it's just the amount of unprofessionalism. I mean, if I was the client and I found out the investigator I hired had that guy doing it, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut all contact. I mean, it gets me upset thinking about it because he's a clown. I mean, first of all, you have to deal with law enforcement when you're a private investigator, because in some ways you can consider it stalking someone, but it's a license to stalk if you're hired. I mean, the guy, I haven't watched it in a while, I watched it a couple times in the past. The guy's like, I was following someone, and he pulled me over, and I got out of my car and showed him my ID. Well, what are you doing? You get out of your car and show him your ID. What does that do? Like, you talk about a cop being calm. The guy gets out of his car and runs up with him with a credit card type ID. Oh, I'm an investigator. Okay? How many times have you been pulled over? Do you get out of the car, run up to the cop? Hey, here's my license. Or hey, here's this. I've never done it. How many videos do you see on YouTube where it goes very, very poorly if a guy jumps out of the vehicle and starts going to the cop? Hey, I'm following someone. You just don't do it. And then the guy's just a total moron. And then he goes, and then he starts giving the cop a hard problem. Start giving him a hard time. Okay. Everything that guy did was wrong. And then you're going to go to the police department and want to get the cop in trouble. Okay, buddy, let's use common sense here. Let's say it's Massachusetts and it's a rich town or wealthy suburbs. Okay, well, you know what? You may have more cases in that town or in that area. So it's a real genius move for your employer to piss that town off, try getting that, I think he was a sergeant, in trouble, jam him up, and then good luck getting hired by another client and have to work in that town. You don't think those cops are going to go out of their way to blow your case up, ruin your case because your moron investigator acts like an immature idiot? Oh my! Everything he did was wrong. Everything he did. I think he said I was in pursuit. Good luck using the word pursuit. Articulation's everything. Pursue. Why were you pursuing? I mean, come on. I followed people before, and look, it is what it is. Sometimes they make you. It's happened. They realize you're following them, and they start doing stuff, and that's that. You don't continue to follow them. I mean, it's it. You lost. The number one rule is don't break traffic laws, like obvious traffic laws, to follow the person. I mean, the clown did everything wrong. I mean, and he's like, I want to file a complaint, this and that, very unprofessional. Let me tell you something. Anyone that thinks that guy is a good investigator is just fooling themselves. He is a horrible, horrible investigator. I'm sorry. That whole attitude and this whole demeanor, the whole thing has millions of views. He is the opposite of what you want as an investigator. You want someone that's chill, that get along with. You think if that guy is going to a restaurant undercover, trying to watch a bartender or something stealing, he'll be able to do a good job? I mean, he's just, I don't know. You know what? The guy sees videos of cops getting pulled over and getting off stops. He thought because he has a private investigator ID, runs up to a cop saying, I'm in pursuit, or I'm following or on a case. Okay, good luck. Good luck. In a lot of places, if you're doing overnight surveillance on a house, one of the biggest parts of it is that, unfortunately, it is what it is. You have to let the police department know you're there. They call it registering. It's something like this. You call them, or you go to the police department. You show them your private investigator license. They take photocopies of your license, your driver's license, your tag. They take a copy of your tag and your private investigator license. Reason being is that if you're watching someone, that's obviously going to be sketchy if you're a neighbor. Why is that car in front of it's 11 o'clock at night. That car's been there for 8 hours. What? Let me call, people are going to call the cops. Well, when they call the cops are not supposed to say, or dispatch say, that's a private investigator. They just will check it out and, they basically say it's okay. Because what you don't want What you don't want, the goal of registering is you don't want the cops to roll up on you there, because then, a lot of neighborhoods, they're nice neighborhoods. Oh, look, there's a cop. Oh, what is he doing? You want to avoid the cop coming up to you. Sometimes they turn their lights on. I mean, if you're doing surveillance on a house, it's a couple or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you see a car pulled over on your block that you've never seen before, the cop there. Oh, what is that? I'm going to get out and look. Well, a lot of people, hey, man, that looks like the car that was on my block the other day. What is it doing? Wait a minute. I'm at work. That car looks familiar. And then you're done. You're done. So, but that guy, by doing that, the clown doing that, you think that police department, if they ever hear that company, obviously the ID has the company's name on it too, not just him. He's too young to be a licensed private investigator himself. Looking at, I think it's Massachusetts qualifications. He's an investigator. He works for a private detective agency. He's too young to be. If he was an older retired cop, it could be his private company. But he works for a company, which means he's an employee, not the the employer. Which means anytime that you hear that company, that town, those cops, they're gonna have a field day with it. The guy did everything wrong in that video. Everything wrong. It has millions of views, and there are people saying, "Oh, you should have done this. You should have done that." You know what you do? You get pulled over. You wait for the officer to come up. Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm a private investigator. I was following that vehicle. I apologize. It's a big. I mean, look, you want to lie a little bit, man. It's a child custody case. To do it, but this. I'm sorry, man. You're right. I shouldn't have done it, but I got excited. It's not that hard to do. But to get out of your car, I'm following. Oh, my ID. Oh, you moron! You're a total clown. Going up and doing that garbage. People get killed that way. You've seen videos where unfortunate videos where someone takes out something out of their pocket or something like that. I mean, it's just, come on, man. You can get out and charge a cop car. Here's my ID, Man, what a clown. The guy's an embarrassment to the private investigator profession. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even in the industry anymore, to be honest with you. Everything that guy did was wrong. You can do the video. Private investigators pulled over by cop. And then he tried doing this. Oh, I hurt my leg. It's just like, I forget what he did. Like, he closed the door on my foot or some garbage. I mean, like, dude, you're just a imbecile. If that's a regular citizen, it is what it is. But you're a private investigator representing a company doing that. I mean, who knows? He may have worked for a retired cop that had owned the agency, but not good at his job. No one that's good at their job handles themselves that way, because it's a reflection. It's treat people how you want to be treated. That company, that's a reflection of that company. So, I mean, that guy right there is a reflection. So, think about not just that case, him, losing that car, but some towns or cities are big and they have wealthy people. And one case, what's the big deal? You may lose one client. Well, you know what? I've had personally cases where a client drops off a $25,000 retainer. Boom. The most I've ever seen was 3 separate $25,000 retainers from the same. It was the grandparents. I'll tell that story another time. But I mean, people drop. I mean, we're talking about people dropping a large amount of money on a case. I don't know if the guy was running from him because he knew he was following him. I wouldn't be surprised. If you see the way the guy acted, I wouldn't be surprised if he was made, trying to probably stay up on the guy's tail. I mean, look, I've made many mistakes when I was a private investigator. I've been made multiple times. I've dropped the ball. That hasn't happened to me by doing some clown crap like that. It's pathetic what that guy did, and that guy's a joke. You never, ever want to mold yourself or act that way. You have to, I don't know, man. It's just, whenever I watch that video, it's like, you're just a moron. You're an amateur. Like, I don't know what he was, maybe trying to get a lawsuit or something like that, but man, it's just, that, there's a video, I'm probably not going to post a link when I post it, but you'll know what I'm talking about. It's I think it's Massachusetts investigator pulled over by cop, claims he's harassed, or he complained he got beat down by the cop for closing the door on his leg or something like that. But look it up. Never, ever, if you're thinking about being a private investigator, ever think about doing what that guy did, because that's just, you know what, not even from a safety standpoint, but a business standpoint. At the end of the day, think about the business aspect. To survive and make money, you need clients. And by trying to create enemies with all the police departments, that's not a good look. It's not good for business. At the end of the day, business is what matters. And money is what matters. And you're only going to lose money by acting like a clown and a joke. That was a story I've been trying to make a video about for a long time. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make that right now because that guy's a joke. But that's how not to behave when you're a private investigator or investigator, whatever you want to word it.